What's good, everybody? We are back with another episode of MMA Fight Picks with Ant and Jay. I'm your man, Ant. This is my man, Jay. We're here to break down the UFC Harris card. We're going to do things not differently, but we are looking to speed up these breakdowns so you can watch them in 45 minutes or under instead of being here for an hour, hour and a half, or whatever it may be. Some cards, may go longer, but ideally 45 minutes to an hour max is what we're going to be aiming for now. So if you're wondering why we aren't necessarily talking in circles as often or whatnot, that is why. It was a great week off, kind of much needed. Take a little break, not watch fights. It was kind of nice. I enjoyed it. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, man. I was kind of a little bored Saturday afternoon, but we went and did some actual real life stuff. So
Exactly, man. Got to do some real life stuff and not
ready to
sit
get
around
back
and
in.
watch the card. But yeah, I agree.
Exactly.
I'm ready to get
I
back
actually
in
did.
as well.
I did more tape study than I normally do. So
Yeah, I mean
normally,
the week off gave time to do that, right? So
yeah, normally my best weeks are off of a week off. So let's get it.
Let's get it. All right. So we'll jump into this first card. We got Aylin Perez against Stephanie Egger. Just real quick, Egger's 7 years older. She'll have a 1 inch reach or height advantage and looks like 2.5 inches in reach. I don't know. 65.7 is such an odd number to pick. 0.7. Okay. Anywho, this fight is going to be at featherweight, so Egger is going up a weight class. It's on short notice for her, so that might explain why. Perez looks like she's been a 145er for most of her career. This fight right here, I'm probably going to go with Perez. I like Egger, but I don't know. She's 34. She's taking this fight on short notice. She's not flying across the world, though. She is from Switzerland, so if she is fighting out of Switzerland, it's a shorter travel. But I'm going to go with the dog here at just such high number. What do we have her as right now? Minus 285 plus 215. I don't mind that 215. I don't know if I'd bet it, but it's kind of a dog or pass situation for me. Maybe Egger by sub. That'd be the way if I was playing Edgar. It'd be by submission or inside the distance if you want to cover your bases. But what do you think about this one?
Yeah, so I'll keep it real quick. I do think the line's way off. Egger, I mean, on paper should be the better fighter here, but I think that Ellen Perez is going to come out very confident. She's fought really only trash cans. Her only loss is a disqualification. So I think I'm going to probably get myself to play unit stab on her, but it's not a strong conviction or anything like that.
Yep, I am with you on that. I'm with you. My man Jay, he's got to help the family out real quick. So he will be right back while I continue breaking down this card. So we have Khalid Taha versus Christian Quinones. This fight actually right here is going to be a banger. It is short notice for Quinones, something to note. He is coming from Mexico, so a different part of the world entirely. Not only that, Taha's coming from Germany, so it's a much shorter flight, much shorter travel time. Things like this, I think, are important to note when we are talking about these European cards, because you have people coming from all over the world to fight at Europe. And maybe we should even pay attention to the US cards. But anywho, Quinones honestly hasn't fought extremely tough competition. You see it here, beat an 0-1 guy. This guy here 13-1, impressive. 20-7, another solid win. And Long Zhao 22-6. I don't really know how I feel about that one. It was a decent win, but nothing overly impressive. I'm going with Taha here. I just think he's fought the way better competition just overall. He's been in the UFC longer. You check his last 3 fights; they're all legit fighters. And I wouldn't say he got dominated, especially in these last 2. I wouldn't say it was like a total domination. So I think he can win this fight. He might be able to knock out Quinones. I don't know about that for sure, but I do like Taha to win. especially at the short line of minus 120. So it's a good price, I think, for him. What do you think about this fight?
Yeah, he's. I'm gonna agree with you on this. I'm gonna be on the favorite. It's gonna be a favorite pass. I don't know if I'm gonna get a bet out on this. He's fought way tougher competition. He's a tough, durable guy. He can hit hard. Quinones, I mean, he's winning decisions on, like Contender Series. I don't like to see that. I normally like to see finishes. So yeah, I'm gonna be leading Taha. But this is not like a strong feel on this one either. He's obviously lost to two really good fighters, and he's very durable. He's outlasted both of those fights. But Quinones, if he I guess his best way to win, I think, is if he tries to take Taha down and tire him out. Do I think that will happen? No. So I'm going to lean Taha. And Taha, his winning style is normally by finish, so I would probably expect him to finish. But at the same time, I'm not super sold on a finish. You know what I mean? So
yeah, no, I feel that for sure. I think a nice way you could kind of play this, if you really wanted to, is like Quinones by points plus 185. Taha inside the distance is plus 210. So those are two ways to play that if you do like the finish potential for Taha. And you could even sprinkle the round 3 decision, or the three round decision, which is plus 185 as well. So I mean, it's plus money all around if you want to take a stab at those props and see how it goes. But we're both on the Taha side.
One thing I want to add too is not Taha. Quinones is taking this on pretty short notice.
Yeah.
So I'd be wary of that if you're betting him.
Yep, 100%. Next fight, we have France's own Benoit Saint Denis fighting Gabriel Miranda. Denis will have he'll be 6 years younger, same height, and we don't actually have the reach for Miranda. Miranda's fighting out of MMA Masters, so a decent gym there. We know Denis. He's super tough. He's tough as nails. That fight against Zaleski, I mean, it should have been stopped multiple times. The ref literally got fired after the fight.
That was utterly ridiculous.
Yeah, which is quite impressive to get fired on the spot. I don't know if I've ever seen that before, and I don't know if we will ever see it again. But this fight for me, again, straightforward. I'm going Denis here. Miranda doesn't really have any striking whatsoever, so I don't think Denis will be any danger there. He honestly will be better, and Denis' striking is not fantastic in his own right. And Miranda's really his only chance is by sub. And if you look at his finishes, look at his career, most if not all of his wins are by submission. Denis has a solid grappling game. I think he should be able to fend off Miranda. If your books have it, though, I don't have access to it, but if your book has fight finishes in submission, it kind of covers both Benoit and Miranda. If there is a sub, I do like that play. But other than that, I'm on Denis, and he's a solid parlay piece if you do have that confidence. What do you want on this one?
Yeah, I'm heavy on Saint Denis. I think the UFC kind of felt bad for him after that fight, and they're kind of setting him up with some easy wins now. Hopefully build up another figure in France, especially their first card in France, just legalized MMA not too long ago. So yeah. I'm really thinking that a lot of these French guys, they want to win. So I am definitely on Saint Denis. I actually have him in a parlay with a couple more legs coming in, decent amount of money put on it. And I think I might even double up with inside the distance. I mean, I would expect a sub, but I could see a ground and pound if in the right position because, Gabriel Miranda is pretty not super credentialed black belt, but he's got a black belt. So, yeah, that's where I'm going to lean.
Yeah, no doubt. And I'm just going through his Gabriel Miranda's record and literally all of his wins except for, I want to say, the wins that don't list what the condition was are all submissions. So he doesn't have a single win outside of submissions. But I will say his losses have been by decision mostly. He has 3 decision losses and 1 TKO loss. So that's something to consider. Maybe he survives and Denis wins by points. I don't know, but I don't hate that now that I've looked into it even further than I had already done.
So, I know I've heard a lot of these regional fight promotions, but I've never heard of Face the Danger, which is what he fought, which is his first fight since the pandemic. We're both in there, and they don't even say the win condition for one of them, and they're both against a 3-1 and 5-5 fighter. So, and what fight before that, he beat an 8-7 guy on Brave.
Yeah, it's a Brazilian promotion, from what I know.
Gotcha. Okay, yeah. All right. So,
but
yeah.
I don't know.
But that's a good point, though. I'm not super confident on the inside the distance, but I mean, it's just Saint Denis is typically one inside the distance when he does win.
Yeah, no, I feel that for sure. Our next fight, we have Nasruddin Imavov versus Joaquin Buckley. Imavov is going to be 2 years younger. He'll have almost a 5-inch height advantage and a 1-inch reach disadvantage. Imavov is coming off wins of Shabazian and Ian Heinisch. Buckley's coming off of wins of Albert Duraev and Abdul Razak Al-Hassan. I think both of those are very quality wins. Imavov's only loss was that just majority decision to Phil Haas. Not only loss, but lost in the last 5. Then Buckley's was the head kick to Alicio, who is on the card later in UFC Paris. So I personally think the line is too wide. I think Buckley's being disrespected. I think Buckley has power. He has speed. And I think those will be his 2 advantages in this fight. Imavov will have, he'll have longer legs for sure. He's 5 inches taller, so that length will definitely play a role. But I just think Buckley's being disrespected. We've seen him fight good quality fighters. Albert Duraev is a quality fighter. Abdul Razak Al-Hassan is also a quality fighter. Antonio Arroyo, quality fighter. And then Jordan Wright, scrub. But that's beside the point. And even he's not a scrub. He's just literally KO or bust. But yeah, if you didn't get the gist, I'm going Buckley here. I haven't played it yet, but I'll probably put a unit on Buckley, just his money line. So I think he could win a decision. I think he's good enough to win a decision. And I also think he can knock out Imavov potentially. So that's how I'm rocking with this one. What about you?
Yeah, I am once again going to side with you. I was in the beginning, I was like, I was going to have Imavov parlayed with Benoit Saint Denis, but then I looked more into it, and I'm just really impressed what I've seen from Buckley in the past year and a half. That's kind of what it comes down to, and I'm not so sold on the wins by Imavov. I think that Edmund Shabazian, it's pretty easy. The game plan's out there to beat him. It's pretty easy. You just got to be able to take him down and hit him in the head a few times. He got crucifixed. Like, come on, bro. Anyways, and then Ian Heinisch, that's a pretty solid win, but I don't even know if Ian Heinisch is in the UFC anymore. He hasn't gotten a fight since actually I think he's injured, so whatever. Anyways, I'm gonna be with Buckley. I think the potential's there for him to knock him out. I think the potential's there for him to win a decision. I think the best path to victory, if I was going to guess, and this is the bookie does not agree with this, but I think he could win a decision at plus 550. I think that's worth a stab. So I'm probably
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Is I definitely think he can win a decision here. I don't see why not.
I think Albert Duraev is a tough motherfucker, and he finished him.
Yeah,
I know it's a doctor stoppage, but
he broke his orbital.
Imavov was he was I know he might have been seeming like he was acting he was laughing at him during the fight, but I think he was doing that out of frustration because he didn't know what he could do to Buckley. Buckley was stopping his takedown defenses. He was reversing positions. He was hitting him with hard punches. You know, So I'm really like I really am impressed by Buckley. Ever since he lost to Di Chirichio or whatever, he seems like he's taking his career super seriously. So I'm gonna be riding him. I haven't made the bet yet, but I will by fight time.
Yeah, I honestly think the line might get a little bit wider
Exactly.
potentially. So we'll wait for that. One thing I'll also say, just small narrative hat. We have 3 Frenchmen in a row. I don't think all 3 are going to win. We rarely see everybody. There's also a couple more on the card later, but still, we rarely see that happen.
Someone's gonna shit the bed. Yeah.
Someone's shitting the bed. It's just a matter of finding out who. This next fight, we have Faraz ZM versus Mikhail Figlak. This fight right here is very interesting. Figlak is a year older. Figlak has a 2-inch or a 2-inch height disadvantage when we don't have his reach. So from right here, I don't know. I want to back Faraz, right? But at the same time, I feel like when I watch him fight, he doesn't like give it his all, if that makes sense. And I think that's kind of the thing that I'm teetering with. If I knew he was gonna go out here and give 110% for 15 minutes, I would bet him in a fucking heartbeat because I think he's better than fucking Figlak. But Figlak is relentless, and that's the thing that scares me. So at the moment, I am gonna side with Ziam anyways, and I might even get to betting him. But that is my concern, is that he does show sometimes that he kind of wants to stop. he's not about it all the time, even though he has a decent UFC career in numbers.
Yeah, it's funny because I'm kind of on the same boat. Like, even like I feel like Terrence McKinney recognized even before the fight started the easiest path to victory is to take this man down and submit him. Like, he's just long, rangy, is good at keeping distance. But like you said, he's not a killer. He's just not a killer, man. He's a decision guy, which is hard to back. You know what I mean? Because you never know with the judges. You're adding a whole different element into the whole process that you have when it comes to picking a fighter. So I want to back him. I want to be able to get free money with him, but like I really don't know much about Figlak. Looks like his last fight was in Cage Warriors. He's a Cage Warrior champ. Looks like his last
fight was 3 weeks ago too.
Oh wow. Hey, he's gonna have the momentum. But yeah, this fight's probably going to decision, and it's probably gonna be a close fight.
Yeah, that's how I'm feeling, and that's kind of why I decided with the dog, because it's so close. And
yeah, let me look at some real quick. If there's any betting angles, let me see. Yeah, over 2.5 is -310, -525 for over 1.5. So there's not really much I like it here. ZM by points plus 215. I mean, you're only adding about 50 cents on the dollar. Not really worth it. In my opinion, just take the midline if you're going to take him.
Yep, I agree with that one. All right. Let's slide on to the next one. We got Stoltzfus against, holy smokes, Abusupian Magomedov. I know I saw this name earlier. I was like, oh, it's going to be fun.
I just seen what he looked like, man. Looks like a thumb.
Yeah, he does, really. He's going to be, so Magomedov is going to be 2 years older. He's going to have a 2-inch reach advantage, or 2-inch height advantage, and a 3-inch reach advantage. It's kind of interesting to see a Magomedov from Germany. I haven't seen that one before. I'm going to be honest, I don't really know squat about Magomedov, nor did I watch film or tape on the fella. So what I can tell just from, I looked at his record, and I also just kind of read about him. I didn't watch anything. But I did see that he beat Sedu Sai, which is MPFL, which is a quality win. And then in KSW, 2 submissions, so quality, but he's not very active. You can see he has long gaps. Or he must have been hurt because he fought a lot in that 3 years ago. But so we have Stoltzfus here. I think Stoltzfus is probably dead to rights in this fight, if I'm going to be honest with you. Just looking at their physiques, just looking at the picture, you can tell that homie's way bigger than Stoltzfus. Size-wise, you can tell height, reach. And then lastly, this fight's probably going to make it to the ground. Stoltzfus prefers a ground fight, and Magomedov prefers a ground fight, and I'm going to take the bigger, stronger man in that one because Stoltzfus is not like insanely technical. So we're gonna go Magomedov here, riding with the big favorite.
Yeah, no, this is probably one of the safer picks of the whole card. I think the favorite is rightfully the favorite. He looked decent in PFL. Not decent. He looked solid. He won his fights. He actually was born in Dagestan. I think he moved to Europe when he was around 15. I think I heard or saw that somewhere. So he is got roots to Dagestan, but he's developed quite a good level of striking since he's there. So Dustin Stoltzfus, I actually didn't watch. I was actually out and missed the Dwight Grant fight, but from what I heard, it sounded like it was a sketch for about somewhat in the second round. He got hit with some power bombs, but he was able to come back and secure the third and win 2 rounds.
It was a little sketchy kind of the whole time. He didn't beat him as convincingly as I thought he would. I bet on him that night. He won, but it wasn't as convincing as I would have liked it to be.
Yeah. And Dustin Stoltzfus got a fucking chin on him. He's a durable motherfucker. So I think that this guy's best path to victory in this fight is by submission. Minus 275 midline with a submission prop of plus 400. Might be worth a stab. I don't know. But yeah, this guy should dominate Dustin Stoltzfus, especially up top. And I think Dustin might be able to fend off the submission for the first, couple minutes or round or two, but eventually he's going to succumb to a submission.
Yeah, I mean he was getting a little gassed against Dwight Grant. Even in the third round, Grant just has terrible cardio, so he couldn't hang. Gerald Mearshart, got the sub. Vieira got a sub. So we've seen him get submitted before. Granted, these guys are pretty elite submission artists, but
well, I guess he did get knocked out in the PFL.
Yeah, Stoltzfus doesn't have power like that.
No. He is not. He is not knocking. I just saw the guy that knocked him out.
Yeah.
he doesn't. He's not got power like that guy.
All right, we'll move on. We're both on Magomedov there. We got Charles Jourdain and Nathaniel Wood. This fight right here is very, very intriguing. It's probably one of the more exciting fights I'm looking forward to on the card. Wood is going to be 3 years older. He's going to have a 3-inch height disadvantage, and they have the same reach. Jourdain is coming off that loss against Shane Burgos, where, he kind of lost those first 2 rounds, but then put together a magnificent third round, almost got Burgos out of there. Super impressive that fight. If he just would have, fought a little bit harder, probably in round 1, he might have been able to win that fight just entirely. But he didn't. And Nathaniel Wood is moving up in weight class. This is the second fight at 145. First one was against Charles Rosa. Decent test. Rosa's super tough, but he doesn't offer the offensive output that Jourdain will offer him. In this fight, I'm gonna let you go first here. What do you think? Because I'm still really teeter-tottering.
Okay, so yeah, you already know this, but I'm a big Jourdain fan. I love his fighting style. I just think he's dope. So I'm gonna be a little biased, but I have one of my biggest plays that I've made in a while on him. I just taken his money line. I got 5.5 units on it. I think Wood is small. I think he's undersized for 145. He made Charles Rosa look big. And Charles Rosa is pretty durable. So, I'm not going to knock him for not taking him out. But I just think Charles Jourdain, he's not a technically better striker than him. I'd definitely say Nathaniel Wood's technically better, but I think he just hits harder. He's going to be bigger. He's going to be more physically imposing. I don't think he's going to be backstrapped like he was against Burgos for a whole round. I don't think submission threat. There's no way Wood's submitting him. So yeah, I think the most likely outcome I mean, there's two of them. I think it's either a first round quick finish by like a submission or a late third round like knockout or something like that. Or he could win by decision. But I mean, I lean. I think I'm gonna lean and double up on inside the distance. But yeah, I'm heavy on him. I think I really don't think Wood's that good, and his chin's kind of questionable, especially at the higher class.
Yeah. All right. So my thoughts, I think I don't know a lot to think about Wood, mainly because he hasn't fought too much. I mean, he has one fight since 2020. And just in my brain, thinking back to 2020 fights, like it's just not something that I'm like is fresh. And so like I need you to be fighting in the last year and a half for me to really remember. But it's not his fault. He had 3 canceled fights. Anyways, I think I don't know. I think Jourdain is probably the rightful favorite here. If Wood can implement his grappling, which he is decent at it. I mean, he has 3 submission wins in the UFC. So he's kind of versed. Andre Ewell is one of those submissions victories that he got. So I think like that's kind of Wood can get him down, maybe hold him down potentially. I think that's kind of the struggle is he might be able to get him down, but being able to hold him down is another story. I really don't know what side to pick here. Like I like Jourdain, but he starts really slow. And in a 3-round fight, when you're almost always giving up round 1, all it takes is Wood to take him down 2 or 3 times in a round, maybe hold him down for 2 minutes, control time, and he could win a round just because like that, and then he wins 2-1. I probably won't even bet on this fight. I have over 1.5 in a parlay, so I think it goes at least over 1.5. I guess I'm gonna pick Nathaniel Wood because I'm sitting here fucking teeter-tottering, so I might as well pick the dog. But I'm not gonna be surprised if Jourdain comes out here and dominates because I mean I think he is the better fighter overall. It's just styles make fights, and Wood kind of has the better grappling / wrestling, and so that might play a role in this fight.
Well, he's almost guaranteed to lose the first round.
Exactly.
If he doesn't come out with like a fire under his ass.
And that's kind of how I'm feeling. All he needs to do is bank 1 round somewhere.
I don't know, man. I don't know what it is about watching Nathaniel Wood. I just don't think he's that good. But
I mean, I wasn't overly impressed with the Rosa win either, but Rosa's super tough. He's only been finished by Shane Burgos, so
yeah,
there's that.
Yeah.
But yeah, he is going to
lost to TJ Brown, bro.
Yeah. So I mean, he's not good. He's not a good fighter. He's just tough. Old school. He only has one style. But we'll move on. We got William Gomez fighting Jarno Aarons. Gomez is another Frenchman on the card. He's 25, so he'll be 2 years younger. I think they're both 145ers. They don't have his last weight. Gomez is 1 inch taller and will have a 70-inch or 74-inch reach. He's a pretty big man for the featherweight division. I would say Sean Woodson's like the only other guy who's bigger than him when it comes to height or reach. But that's really in that featherweight division. I think Gomez should win this fight. I think he can kind of win it how he wants to. He can take him down. He can probably beat him on the feet as well. He likes to smash people on the ground from what I've read. I like to read about people sometimes more than watch film because you kind of can get more out of with like how people talk about them. So it's kind of interesting, but people say like his strikes super intense on the ground, stuff like that. So I'm going to go Gomez here. There's a reason why he's minus 220. There's a reason why he's on the main card. I think this is low key just a get right, maybe potentially a setup fight for the guy. His nickname's the Jaguar, so I'll go out there and get a kill this weekend.
I love it.
Yeah, so what you think?
Yeah, I'm on Gomez. He looks like he's got some sneaky potential. Coming out of France, I think that they're trying to get as many French guys as they can. They're just trying to, globalize, get, hit all the different markets, new fan bases, and a guy like him, he seems like he's quite an exciting fighter. Doesn't seem like he's fought anybody necessarily too great or anything by that means. And Jarno Evans kind of comes off as a tough motherfucker. So, with that being said, I'm going to be on the Gomez side. I think this is probably a setup fight. But I mean, I'm taking all these French guys, and you just got to know, like, out of four of these guys, there's no way all four of them win, right? Like, maybe it's their first card in France, so like, it's not as like crazy if you have like a bunch of New Yorkers fighting in New York or like stuff like that, or a bunch of like the whole card is a bunch of English dudes, you know what I mean, in London. So that's going to happen. So the potential is there. One of these guys doesn't lose, but like something just tells me someone's got to lose, right? One of them.
Yeah, that's how I'm feeling.
And I don't really know much about Aaron's. Yeah, it's either Gomez or pass. And if I was going to play Gomez, I'd probably play by decision.
Yeah, it seems like he has a lot of finishes, but
this guy Aaron's is tough, I think.
Yeah, so I don't really know how it would go. All right, we'll move on. We're both on Gomez. We also don't have too much info on either one of them, so no reason to continue to talking. We have Nasrat Hakparast against John Makdessi. This fight right here is also probably going to be a banger. Makdessi's 10 years older. He is 2 inches shorter and 4-inch reach disadvantage. They used to train, or Makdessi used to train at TriStar, not any longer. Makdessi's last win was against Ignacio Bahamondes, which is actually a pretty impressive win because Ignacio is a stud and he's massive. He's way bigger than Hasparas, way longer reach. So it was impressive. We saw Hasparas lose his last 2 fights. Bobby Green, Dan Hooker. He beat Rafa, beat Alex Munoz, lost to Drew Dober. He definitely can be finished. I think he's exploitable on the ground. Makdessi is a kickboxer. So from that point of view, this is probably going to be a kickboxing match. If he can outpoint him, which is possible, I'm pretty sure he was like a world-class kickboxer. Not like super, super elite, but that's what he came from. Bobby Green outpointed Hakparast. Granted, Bobby Green is a lot better than John Makdessi, but I'm not impressed with Nasrat. I haven't seen too much, so I'm like, oh yeah, this is really amazing. The line, I don't know if it's too wide. I'm gonna go with Makdessi. He was impressive against Ignacio Bahamondes. And if he can beat Bahamondes, I don't see why he can't beat Hakparast. It's kind of MMA math, but not math at the same time. Just kind of looking at matchups and fighting good fighters. So that's what I think. What about you?
Yeah, I'm also going to be on the Makdessi side. Like you said, there's something about Hakparast. It's just like nothing sexy about him. He likes to win decisions, pretty much is what it seems like, or he loses decisions, except for I forgot. He got smoked by Dober. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, honestly, and a part of it is listening to that interview that you had with Makdessi on the Line podcast, I think it's called.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, he seems really motivated, man. He's been out for a little bit. He seems motivated. He looks like he's in great shape. Clearly doesn't like the guy. So I would be surprised if he finished. I'd be surprised if Nasrat finished him. So I could see this being a close fight going down the line. The only concern I really honestly have is that Makdessi's a little old. Like
he is.
And he's going to be giving up some reach and height. But with that being said, he's coming off of a win versus Bahamondes, bro. And Bahamondes is a tough motherfucker. And then he fought Trinaldo back in 2020. Trinaldo's still beating prospects right now. And 2 years ago, he was still 40 years old. So,
Yeah. I mean,
sorry, go ahead.
He's fought Lando Venata. I mean, this is 2016, but he's had tough competition. Venata, Yancy Medeiros. He's fought fucking Cowboy. So he's definitely. Yeah.
So I definitely respect Nasrat's skill set and stuff like that, but I don't think he warrants the -225 favorite in this situation. So
Yeah.
I'm dogger pass. I don't know. We'll see how my live bets are going on tonight, and I might do something on him live.
Yeah, that's how I'm feeling. This fight is more so like I'll bet on it if my night's going well, and then I'm like I got extra money to play with. But that's how I'm feeling with this one. So let's roll to the next fight. We're doing swell. We have Alicio Di Chirico versus Roman Kopylov. It is an interesting fight because like Alicio Di Chirico really has not been impressive at all. He just had that head kick win against Buckley, and I mean, I would say that was more fluky than anything. We've never seen him really do that before. I don't know why. I've seen people kind of give that extra credence, like, "Oh my God, he did this," but I think it was more lucky. But also Roman Kopylov has not been fucking. He's like just like you're losing to Carl Roberson. Not a good look in my opinion. Albert Duraev, tough guy. He did put up a tough fight against Duraev, though. I will say that. So when I look at these two fighters, I've got to go with Kopylov here. I just think he's not really a quitter, in my opinion. And that's not saying Chirico is a quitter, but I think he does slow down. And I think Kopylov doesn't. When he fought Duraev, like he was relentless all 3 rounds. He did get beat, but he was tough. He gave a very tough fight to Duraev. So that's how I'm going to go here. I'm not confident. I don't even know if I'd bet this fight. It's kind of a stay away for me. I'm not in love with either side. But what about you?
Yeah, this fight's pretty gross to me, to be honest. It's funny because like really the only thing that we've seen from Di Chirico in the past like 2 years. I mean, I guess it's 2 years. He fought Zach Cummings about 2 years ago, exactly 2 years ago. But is that he had that one fight where he head kicked Joaquin Buckley, and I was just like, there's no way this man fucking just head kicked Joaquin Buckley, knocked out cold, like. But he did it, and then the first fight back, 7 months later, the exact same thing happens to him.
Yeah.
Literally in the first 10 seconds of a fight. So it's kind of like almost like a Kahneman type of loss. But like historically, he's fucking durable as fuck. So like,
yeah,
he really, honestly, if they had the Saint Denis ref, he would have been kept going. You know what I mean?
No, he's super fucking durable.
He kind of recovered. So I don't think Roman Kopylov is going to finish him.
No.
I think that it's very, very clear how you beat Roman Kopylov, and it's called just taking him down. If Alessio comes and just takes him down, I don't see how he loses the fight, but that's a big if, and I don't like betting on, the IQ of fighters. I like to,
Yeah, and he also hasn't really shown that he wants to even really
exactly
do that. So
he hasn't tried to wrestle in a long time.
This is going to be a striking match unless Kopylov wants to take Chirico down. Like that's how I think it'll go. But
so I mean, if he gets Kopylov down, he has just like a terrible defense for like jiu-jitsu and guard work. So I don't know. I'd lean Di Chirico, but like there's no way I want to bet this fight.
Yeah, I mean, even the odds are kind of gross. I mean, Kopylov by sub plus 2,500. Like, whoa. KO 475 points 175. I don't know. I don't like any of it. Yeah, I'm going Kopylov. You're gonna go. You said you maybe just kind of lean Chirico, but
I would land Chirico by literally like a split decision or points. Like that's where I would have it. Unless he wrestled, then he's like literally gross. Like minus 500, dude, or some shit like that.
Yeah, it's gross.
Nah, not minus 500. It'd be like minus 250 if you knew he was gonna wrestle.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, let's move on to the co-main. We got Robert Whitaker against Marvin Vettori. This fight right here is actually pretty exciting to me just because, I mean, these guys both have lost to Izzy twice. So it's kind of a good litmus test for both of them. Like, which one of you guys is the true #1 contender? Vettori's 3 years younger. It says the last fight was at 204. That's because Paulo Costa was bullshitting. But it is 185 that he'll be at. He'll make that weight easily. He always makes his weight. He's going to be same height and a half-inch reach advantage. So basically, these guys match up very well. They're pretty much identical carbon copies of each other, physically speaking. Robert Whittaker is a little more athletic. Vettori is, I would say, more brute strength, if you will, for lack of a better term or way of describing it. In this one, I want to side with Robert Whittaker, but part of me just says, what if Vettori is able to take him down and hold him down? We've seen Vettori be able to do that with everybody, just not named Izzy. And that's because Izzy's just levels ahead of everybody else. And so who's to say that Robert Whittaker can't be taken down and can't be, out wrestled and out grappled? We're seeing Bilal Muhammad do that to people all over the 170 division, people we would have never thought that he was going to be able to do that to. So why can't Marvin Vettori do something of the same? So I'm going to side with Vettori here. I'm going to take him. He has a blockhead, granite chin. He's not getting knocked out. And I would say the same for Whittaker, unless he gets hit perfectly on the button, kind of like how he did against Izzy. He's not gonna lose. And Vettori doesn't have like extreme power either. So I'm gonna go with Vettori. I like Vettori by points. And I don't know what the odds are, but
it's plus 350.
Okay, so that's not bad.
It's great odds. Great odds.
Yeah, and then I also like low key, like Vettori by sub maybe if he just can get something spicy. Because he had Izzy's back, but Izzy got out of that. So what if he gets Vettori's back? I wonder how that will go. But I kind of like the points, and then sprinkling. Probably take the money line and then sprinkle a little bit on the points. That's might be how I go with this one. What are you thinking?
This is honestly, this is the toughest fight for me to pick on this whole card. Just straight up who I think is going to win. My thing is, like you said, I think Vettori's got the grappling upside. I think he should probably be the overall stronger individual. Like, the man's freaking huge. He's going to be slower in the striking, which is going to be why I think he loses the striking exchanges, which is he's going to wrestle. He always tries to wrestle. So, he's not a dumb fighter. He's just not that. He just doesn't have the elite skill. He just has got a fucking rock solid head and can walk through anything. And, he does have some solid wrestling. Also a decision lord, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's hard for me not to bet against Whittaker because the odds, especially for a decision, Marvin Vettori wins by decision plus 350. It's kind of ridiculous to me, but
that's his win condition.
Yeah,
it's literally decision.
Yeah, exactly.
So why is it so high?
Both of these guys is win. I don't think either one of them is finishing each other, which is why I have my parlay is over 1.5 for Vettori and Whittaker and Benoit Saint Denis, and then a fighter in the next fight that we're going to talk about. Yeah. And I think that's pretty safe. I don't know. I think a split decision win by Marvin Vettori might be a prop I might entertain, plus 1,200. It's actually kind of low given.
Yeah, I agree. I just think when you really look at it, the book is giving you minus 136 for Robert Whittaker's points. So it's basically telling you this. We think this shit's going to decision.
Yeah, over 2.5 minus 300.
Exactly. So another tell. So if they're giving you that, why would you not just sprinkle Marvin Vettori for plus 350? Because like you said, what if he does get that split? Or maybe just take that to win by split or majority decision.
You could pick both sides of that and still profit.
Exactly. Exactly. You could take both.
You could parlay over 1.5 or over 2.5 with both of them and then still profit even bigger. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a lot of ways you can go about it. I think Vettori by points at plus 350 is nice. I mean, I might throw a half unit at it and just kind of see how it goes because I really like that the more that I'm talking about it.
Yeah, for sure.
So we'll move on to the next and final fight. We have we got Ciryl Gane and Tuivasa. So this fight right here, I'm gonna keep it short and fucking sweet. If you're betting on Tuivasa, you're just donating to your bookie. He doesn't stand a chance. I know people are saying, well, he can hit him with the bomb. Woompty whoomp whoop. Ciryl Gane is not getting hit with no fucking bomb. It just doesn't happen when your skill level is this high, especially at the heavyweight division. Francis Ngannou, the bombs of all bombs, could not do squat. He couldn't connect. He couldn't get a clean shot. We think Tai Tuivasa, like no, that's it, gone all the way. If you really don't want to parlay, like I would still bet Gane just minus 575 and just like it's free money. It like people bet Makayev minus 800. People do like free fucking money. Ciryl Gane. All right, I'm done.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's hard for me to picture how Tuivasa wins unless he literally like closes his eyes and like gets the luckiest shot of his life, which is very possible. Not very possible, but it is possible. But not very likely, I don't think. So yeah, I mentioned it earlier. My parlay is Benoit Saint Denis, Ciryl Gane, and over 1.5 of the Whitaker fight. I got like 5 units to win 4 or something like that. I think it's pretty straightforward. I think Tuivasa is just going to be trying to figure out where to land his shot, and Gane's going to be bouncing up and down on his toes, hitting him with jabs, coming under, hitting him in the stomach, hitting him in the head. Do I think it's an early finish? No. Do I think I think the way that Ciryl Gane wins this fight is actually by submission or a late finish by TKO. And that's kind of like how I kind of cap this fight. I'm just having him parlayed, and we'll see. I don't want to try and pick the outcome because I think that there's kind of like a wide range of possible outcomes. So I'm just going to take him straight up, and hopefully we don't see anything. We don't see him get hit by a bomb or anything.
Yeah.
And one last thing that I want to add is that he's coming off a loss, and they're giving him a guy that fights into his fighting style that has no wrestling, which is how Ngannou beat him. Is he wrestled him the final round in reverse position or whatever that controversial thing is. So I really don't, like you said, see how Tuivasa wins. Am I going to say there's a 0 chance he wins? No, I think there's probably like a 2% chance he wins.
Exactly.
But, yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Like we pull up the odds calc real quick. It's just minus 575 right now. That's an 85% win implied probability. Ciryl Gane is winning this fight at least 95% of the time.
I've also bet against Tuivasa in the last 2 fights, and I've lost both of them. So
yeah, I mean, at least you're transparent with that. But I mean, I'm just like, how do you fight Struve, Hunsucker, Greg Hardy, Sakai, Derek Lewis? I mean, I guess that is all step up in competition, but Derek Lewis has fallen off a fucking cliff.
Yeah, it's kind of been sad to watch.
And I mean, Sakai has also just been taking L's after L after L. So I mean, like when you really look back at those wins, like they're not impressive. And then you're like, all right, now I'll go fight a fucking stallion. Like, an absolute, like it don't make no sense. He's gonna be the champ of the heavyweight division. It's just a matter of when the fuck he can get it.
Yeah, he might beat Francis the next time they fight.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like if they fight, they're probably gonna fight again, and when they do, like I think he takes that belt. So,
all right, John Jones has anything to say about it?
Right. All right, Sean. Well, we did it. We're under an hour. Hope that was good, quick, insightful, concise. Kind of the goal. We'll get better at it. Keep going. But we appreciate you guys watching. Please leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you enjoyed it. And best of luck on all of your bets this weekend. Yeah, we want everybody to cash those tickets. So have a great one and enjoy the card this week, folks.
Good luck.